One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. Frank, I want to start by asking where the fundraising push for UAB football stands today. And through my reading of the situation, and obviously through some of your education offline, there's a couple different pots of money here that are behind the program that you all are working on to get to certain levels that can achieve certain goals for you guys as a program. But detail those.
Well, Matt, thanks for having me. The word unique is so overused. It means one of a kind, unlike anything else. But really, how many things can be truly unique? But I think the return of UAB football certainly qualifies. To have a program that's discontinued, brought back, and just 6 months later is one thing, but then to have this incredible level of support around it, financial and otherwise, is just really absolutely remarkable. In the approximately 6 months between when the program was dissolved in December of 2014 to when it was brought back on June 1 of 2015, nearly $18 million was pledged to ensure that football could be funded at the appropriate level. Now, the way that $18 million came about is that it was nearly $12 million in philanthropy, private donations from individuals and businesses. There was a dedicated student fee that passed with over 84% of students in favor. That'll total about $3.5 million over the next 5 years. $2.5 million from the city of Birmingham, which was an enhanced support package from what they had already been providing. And then about $500,000 from the UAB National Alumni Society. And all those pledges are to be paid out over a 5-year period to bring UAB football back the way it should be funded. And that support came from folks from all walks of life. There were folks that were previously top supporters and fans of the Blazers, which were great. There were those with the means to make 6 and 7 figure gifts. And then there were those with much more modest means whose gifts range from $25 on up. It's a funny story that there was one school-age child from Columbus, Ohio, who heard about our situation and with the help of his mom sent $1 from his allowance because he liked our mascot and he wanted everybody to be able to have college football. So it's really an interesting story of how that came to be. But that's the $18 million that was raised to help reinstate the programs. On the separate page here, you've got our football facility operations facility fund. And we were in desperate need of a contemporary training facility. And right now we're in the design phases with plans to break ground shortly before kickoff this summer on about a 45,000 square foot operations center. And it'll have coaches' offices and meeting space and locker rooms and sports medicine areas and training areas, all the amenities you'd expect the top programs to have in their facility. Right now, that project looks to be about $15 million. We've got roughly 2/3 of it raised. And again, those have come from significant gifts from individuals and businesses in the 6 and 7 figure range, as well as folks who just really want to be a part of our program and a part of our rebirth that have committed, more modest amounts. But the thing that really struck me here, whether we're talking about the reinstatement fund or the facilities fundraising cause, is that there's so many people that have contributed to this effort, and at all points along the financial spectrum, and many of them didn't necessarily have a deep relationship with UAB in the past, but they're just incredibly prideful of the city of Birmingham and where they live, and take their relationship with the city very personally and want to see it thrive. And they realize that a strong UAB is important for a strong Birmingham. And one of the ways is to support UAB and through its college athletics program.
You've noted the uniqueness of the situation, the nearly $18 million in reinstatement funds being 2/3 of the way towards the $15 million for operational improvements. Once that's achieved, Frank, how do you guys maintain this groundswell of support?
Well, these fundraising efforts have really served as a springboard for so many great things to happen, in the last year or so. First, of course, we had to decide when we were going to return to the field. And after a great deal of study, we determined that, sitting out the 15 and 16 seasons put us in the best position to to launch a successful program. Then, of course, recruiting. That's the lifeblood of our business. Bringing high quality student athletes into our program. The NCAA worked with us to be able to alter the number of student athletes that we could bring in both during the mid-year December period as well as on National Signing Day. So we'll look to be at or pretty close to a full roster by the time we return to the field in 17. Scheduling, certainly is another key element. And coming back when we did, we really had to work double time to fill out a schedule, particularly for 2017 and 18, as well as beyond. We announced our 2017 schedule and really spoke to our philosophy overall of scheduling one FCS opponent, 2 home-and-home series with group of 5 type opponents, as well as one game against a Power 5 opponent. And we've done that for 17 and are close to completing that schedule for 18. And then there are just so many other operational things that you have to take care of when you're starting a program. And that's basically what we were doing, is starting over a program, whether it be staffing, equipment. We'll have an announcement regarding a new footwear and apparel partnership that we'll announce here pretty soon. Academics and sports medicine, making sure we have the right numbers of people working with our student athletes and basically starting over in so many ways. Then, of course, you've got the public side of that as well. And, we've tried to be strategic with announcements over the past several months to keep UAB and specifically UAB football in the public eye, despite not being on the field for 2 seasons. We're selling tickets and taking deposits for the 2017 season. Right now we've got over 2,000 season tickets that are either paid or have deposits for, and that's 16 months until we kick off. So we're excited about that. We launched a television, outdoor, and digital marketing campaign in conjunction with bowl season, last December and January, as well as the NCAA basketball tournament, and received a great deal of attention about it. We've got plans here to roll out a much more comprehensive and lengthy branding program that'll transition to more of a focused sales effort beginning midsummer of this year, and that'll continue through the conclusion of our first season back on the field. And then we've got a number of community-based efforts that that put our student athletes, our coaches, and program in the public eye, and then show the community that while we're not playing games right now, UAB is still working to support the area that helped bring the program back. Something that I think is pretty cool that we're looking to launch here going into the fall is that while we won't play a regular schedule of 12 or 13 games like most programs, we're going to launch what we're calling the Blazer Bowl series. And basically what it is a series of 3 exhibition inter-squad games that we'll treat just like regular home games. We'll do one a month basically throughout the season. So August, September, one in October in conjunction with homecoming, and then another to end the year in November. And we'll try to schedule them counter to when other events take place. So we won't have them on Saturdays when you've got a full slate of college football games, but rather on Tuesday or Wednesday nights, so that we can make it convenient for our fans to attend. And look at some unique venues, both on and off campus, that you might not otherwise see football games, and have our band and spirit squads and tailgating and hospitality and the full boat, just like you would a normal game. It not only keeps our fans interested and engaged and keeps us in the public eye, but it gives our student athletes something to look forward to during an unusual time. Normally they work hard during the week and they've got those games on Saturdays to point to. Well, we don't have that, but this is a way to kind of manufacture that event to keep their interest and their work habits keen. So, we've got those and other ideas as a way to keep football and UAB front and center here over the next couple of years. But we know it'll be fall of 17 before we realize it.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.